Well, that's going to help so that you can hear your what.
You don't have yours on either.
I'm about to, but I still have to move. That's why things are the way we're at. What are they doing? This is the pre-show, folks. If you can hear me, just to let you know. Let's see. That's better. I think we need to zoom out a bit because we are very close. Not that we don't like being close, but, you know. Nah. Meh.
Meh.
Meh. As we see in those. Yes. Meh.
Meh.
All right. Let me get the toolbox going. All right. By the way, folks, welcome to the pre-show, the patron pre-show for the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Welcome. It is 8:05. We are almost, I think we're going to be pretty darn close to the 8 o'clock mark, I think, in the next month or so, the way this keeps going. Okay, we are streaming, so I'm going to turn that off.
You're screaming.
Yes, we are. We are screaming. Okay, so that's up and going. So that's good. And I shall get...
I can hear you.
Good. And I can hear you too. That's excellent. All right.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. All right. So, you actually need to scoot to your right if you're going to do this. Because look what we got.
Oh.
And you're hitting me.
Yes.
So just don't dump your coffee. Because tears over spilled coffee is much more severe than tears over spilled milk, which is usually just the cream. Or something like that. All right. This is set.
Okay.
This is set. How is that? Better?
Okay.
Good.
Now that feels better.
That is much better.
Yep.
Thank you. All right. So that's camera 1. And this is camera 2. That's a good shot. I like that. That is a very good shot.
Yeah. All right. Whatever.
All right.
Of you.
Well, of both of us. You're lovely.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Because that's how that goes. All right. Excellent. So that's working all right. We seem to be going out okay. I'm going to move the mics up just a smidge so that they're get into the sweet spot, as it were, when it comes to a microphone. The sweet spot in a microphone, as opposed to popular belief of what a sweet spot is where your voice goes the absolute best into the microphone via angle and distance. Exactly. So that's how that works. Whatever. So anyways, whatever. So that's
I talk, he records, I'm good.
Yeah, it's all good. Welcome everybody to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. We are in the patron pre-show, and we are just getting things started.
Started.
That's
almost Southern.
That is almost Southern, y'all.
I'm almost proud.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. So I'm going to actually put this up so that people can actually see the banner. All
right, so...
Oh, that's good. Oh, it's backwards. You want to? They're seeing it. We're seeing it backwards because I haven't changed this yet. Now watch this magically go. Okay.
That's hilarious.
See, to them when they look, it looks normal.
Yeah, it did not look normal to me.
Our monitor is reversed until I actually put the bottom third in place, and then when I put the thing on it.
Oh, look at that! Now it says pre-show.
Yes, so that's what
instead of wash.
Yes. Watch. Erp.
Whatever it says.
That's good. So yeah, that's the pre-show banner. Welcome to the patron pre-show. We are so glad you are here. And so that's some of the craziness that we have with that. And I can actually go now and put the other one in, which is the one that we use for our regular stuff, and that'll be
so. I guess the Mafia family is home now.
Yes,
they're in the chat room.
They sent us a very nice letter of a lot of the stuff that they did. We're not going to read it tonight because it's rather lengthy.
Oh.
But it was a good summary of a lot of the things that they have done on their multi-state Eastern Coast
they were on the East Coast. They were over here with us.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Kinda. but it's
closer
good.
than they were.
Yes. Yeah, because they're actually over where they're out.
Colorado.
Yeah, that's a little farther out than east.
And actually, next year, believe it or not, Cincy has a reunion every year.
Yes.
And next year it's in Colorado.
Yes. Well, why don't you tell, just for giggles and kicks, to tell the fine people what you do with Cincy, because that's interesting stuff for lady folks.
Actually, some men, the guys at the fire station, like it too.
Well, yeah, it smells pretty.
It smells pretty. Yeah, it does, and it makes them hungry.
Well, yeah, you get the ones that are like buttercream.
Yeah, I got vanilla bean buttercream.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is awesome. We're going to be warming that Saturday.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this stuff smells. I mean, come on. It is not fair to be able to sit there and put smells that just make your mouth water instantly. It's like Pavlov's bell. You know,
yeah,
drool,
Pavlov's dog. Yeah,
drool,
totally.
drool.
Yeah. Last month it was Berries Jubilee. You guys like that?
That was nice. I like
berries.
that.
There's some stuff that I'm not a fan. I got to admit that.
Oh yeah, there's a couple in there that are a little more. I am not
acquired.
Well, it's not just that. I'm sure somebody likes it, but there was one that was like fresh cut grass.
Yes, and there is one person that has that now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sure it's like anything else when you try out smells. And if you don't know what Cincy is a company that Amy is a distributor for Cincy.
Yeah, I'm an independent consultant.
Right. And so what happens is they do these Cincy parties, and you get all the people together, and they purchase all the cool stuff that Cincy provides, and then you get your stuff and you go that way. Well, Amy creates the parties and goes to them and is the main consultant.
And I
to
help
tell
people decide what they want.
Right, and if you ever did, completely non-geocache related, but we're in the pre-show. That's all part of the fun. It's 8:11 right now, and we've got plenty of time before the 8:30 show. So that's what we do in the pre-show. We talk about stuff that may.
And this has nothing to do with geocaching, but when you come back, you can come back to a good smell.
Yes, and the idea is
they're not candles. It's actually wax.
Yeah,
that you melt.
You got a warmer that you take these little cubes of Cincy wax that you put into it, and it melts.
Yes.
And then it becomes fragrant. Now the cool thing about this, and they have done many studies. Obviously, Cincy's been involved with it, but I mean, just in general studies yourself. If you want to sell your house, the thing that you do is you have a scent inside the house of either baked bread or freshly baked cookies.
Yes.
Matter of fact,
yes,
we have
German chocolate cake.
Yeah.
Actually.
So the problem with me is she'll sit there and find me in the corner, and I'm licking the can. I'm licking the.
I actually had a cat eat the wax one time, and she was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
was blueberry cheesecake, so I really couldn't blame her.
But the idea psychologically, there are certain scents that. If you want a house to feel appealing, if you want to feel a house favorably, there are certain scents you want to go. If you want to sell a house, one of the old tricks when you had people coming over is you literally bake the cookies and leave them in the oven. You turn the oven off, obviously.
Right, but you have the scent in the air.
Scent in the air of fresh baked cookies, and people feel more at home.
Yeah, but this way, you can have it without actually having to bake.
Right.
Which I'm a huge fan of.
So anyways, that's how that works.
And there's lotions, and there's creams, and there's room sprays, and
it's girly stuff.
It is freaking awesome. I love it. And I originally got into it because when he originally got out of lost his job.
Yes.
But now I'm just having fun with it, and dude, we're getting the previews of the next catalog season.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Good stuff, huh?
Oh, yeah. The Halloween stuff.
Now, if they can make one that looks like a geocoin or a geocache, that would be awesome. What would a geocache smell be like? And I can come with some ideas, because I will tell you what.
And you can mix them, so we can make it.
I want to know how you can get the smell of freshly opened up ammo can.
Ooh.
There's an actual scent from the military. There is that weird oily metallic military smell.
I don't think it would sell very well.
No, but geocachers could instantly identify what that is. Oh, that is ammo can. You are correct.
Yeah, I don't think that would sell really, really fast, but
Hey, you put them in your garage so that it makes it smell like you're doing something.
yeah, true.
Okay, I'm just saying.
But the lemon, they have one that actually deters mosquitoes.
Oh, the citrus, or what is that?
It's the coconut lemongrass.
Yeah, coconut lemongrass.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I'm not a huge fan of that, but I may become one.
All right.
Mosquitoes freaking love me.
And now people are sitting there saying, "Hey, is this the Cincy show?" No. Well, this is the
This
GeoSnippits,
could be the Cincy show because I could talk about that stuff forever.
GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, like it says on the bottom third. That's what we're talking about. So now
And
we're gonna.
Cincy.
So just to let you know, why don't we do this? Just because we spent 10 minutes talking about Cincy, if somebody wanted to order stuff from you because they don't have a Cincy person nearby, how do they contact you?
You send me an email and out
To what?
to it smells like oil or grease. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Any email you want to send it to HeadHardHatress, then that's groovy.
Okay, so HeadHardHatress at
gmail.com.
Okay.
Or you can send it to contact me on Facebook,
Mhm.
or send it to acsmith8213@gmail.com.
So the easiest thing for you to do is if you go to the GeoSnippits website,
Yep.
and underneath, if you go up into the social network link up in the top of the GeoSnippits website, click on there. All the social links to Amy and I are there. All you have to do is click on her Facebook link or Google Plus link and just put it in there, and she will get in touch with you and help you out with stuff.
Yeah,
like
Facebook
that.
is better, but
yeah. So, I mean, people like to know different things that we do, and this is something I don't think we've ever talked about before.
Nope.
And so we've had some geocachers that in conversation, things like that come up, and they go, "Oh, you do Cincy? We've been looking." So
yeah,
now
I actually had a geocacher say that.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Great, now I don't have to go out of state."
Yeah. So
and we can ship all over the country. We do out of country too. We have
international.
Yeah, we have people in Australia. We have people all over the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that gives our plug for Cincy, because Amy loves doing that.
I do love doing.
We like to promote the different things and hobbies of which we both do, like with my mayonnaise jar collection and such.
Oh my gosh. He says, I was like, "Do we have ranch dressing?" Because I'm not a huge fan of mayonnaise. I won't even get into that. But anyway.
We have a pantry.
Like most people.
And in the pantry there was this
like
large
12 cans of mayonnaise.
It's one jar of Miracle Whip, okay, that has been in there forever, and obviously was
apparently since 2012.
That was when it was last good.
Yeah, that was the expiration date.
Yeah, so I kind of figured we may not want to eat this because
I may have had this in here a while.
A little longer than expected. So yeah, and I wonder, that's not the first item. I'm sure there's all sorts of things.
If I went to that pantry, I'm sure we would throw away a lot.
We've got ramen noodles in there from World War II, I'm sure. So
they don't really count because I don't think they go bad.
It's like a Twinkie.
Do they have an expiration date?
Yes.
Mayonnaise? No.
Yeah.
I said 2012.
Yeah, it's like we've done it.
No, we're not going to eat it. That's for sure.
Yeah. But anyways, we got a great show for. What's that?
Fresh cut grass too.
Yes. For what?
Yeah, I just thought of that. Sorry.
Fresh cut grass.
Yeah.
What are we referring to?
Cincy.
We already talked about that.
I know. My brain's still going with it.
It just sunk in.
No, I'm still going with it.
Oh, okay, good. So anyways.
Who's stressing?
Yep. So we got tons of stuff for you tonight in the show tonight. And Strysa, hey Strysa, how you doing, man? Matter of fact, we're going to talk a little bit tonight about something that Strysa brought us into in episode 68 about the Geocaching Travel Bug Challenge, and we're going to touch about that tonight. We were supposed to have on, just so that you guys, because you always get the back information behind the scenes stuff, we were actually supposed to have on tonight as our guest. We were actually going to have, and I'm just pulling up the information here. That's why it's taking me.
Dave's here too.
Is awesome. Is Braden Purcell. who is the person that started the Geocaching Travel Bug Challenge, and we talked about it back in episode 68. And I at that time I didn't know Braden, and I didn't know actually who started it up. And through Striza, who's in the Dirtbag Geocaching Society, was the first person that actually told me about this whole thing. Well, since then, I've communicated with Braden, and we were supposed to have him on the show tonight, but unfortunately, he is not well at all. And if you want to have some pleasant thoughts put out for him, I would greatly appreciate it. He has tick fever. He's been on 4 different medications apparently, and is recovering, but really was not up to doing the show tonight. So our prayers go out to him, and what we're going to do is we're going to briefly go over again about it, just because we want to get the word out. They are having some really good success, and I want to see that continue because I'm a big fan for this. And when he gets better in the next couple of weeks, we're going to actually have him on the show to talk more about it, and because I want to get behind the scenes stuff of how this all happened. So we'll go over the highlights with it. We actually had to do a plan B tonight, and quickly came up
about
with a
he means he.
Yes, and so what I thought would be good, because we actually haven't talked about this year, is tick prevention.
Ticks.
And so because see the association, ticks. See how that works? Because I try. Because he came down with tick fever, I thought, you know what, that would be a really good discussion, because we haven't talked about it. And this year they are expecting more ticks in the United States now than ever before, because one, the cold has not affected them in the South nearly as much, even though we had a colder winter.
Nothing has affected anything here.
Yeah, and we thought that because they had a colder winter this year that would affect them. Not happening.
It's like they're resilient or something.
Yeah, and because of the north, even though it was colder up there, with all the wetness that they've continuously had, they have exploded. And so we thought it would be a good thing to kind of go over what to look for. Doing some identification of them, where they are in the different parts of the United States, because I always thought there was about 4 ticks, and we have actually like 8 or 9 that I checked out on the CDC that they tell the regional areas where they're at. And
I just assumed that we are the breeding ground for them.
Well, the way that the governor had explained about it a year or 2 ago in an article is that North Carolina is the belt, or is the buckle of the tick belt. What is? North Carolina is the buckle of the tick belt. I was actually
kidding.
No.
It seems like we're the breeding ground for a lot of things.
It actually is. We're that heavy with the tick population. And believe me, all you have to do is go out and go that way. Or if you've gone to some of the different states east of us or west of us, Kentucky, Tennessee, that way.
Good. Dave's going over there.
Going where?
Tennessee.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
You want to watch him there too, because I remember when they had Geo Woodstock in I think it was Tennessee a couple years ago, that people were talking hundreds of ticks that they were covered with that. So anyways, it's a good discussion, and I think as a tutorial type thing, this is just a good thing to go over. So we're going to be going over tick awareness tonight, and of course we're going to be going over the brand new, and you got a little time to get yourself prepared for it, because and that's why we're doing this, to kind of help you get prepared to earn that 7 souvenirs of August.
Apparently,
which is the new thing.
Giant hogweed is starting to exist, can cause blindness.
Giant hogweed?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
Dave said it, so I'm not sure.
Oh, it's probably bred in Canada and then migrated down here, kind of like kudzu in the South.
Oh.
Kudzu is the plant that ate the South.
Oh my! It's trying.
Yeah, and
I would say something, but it's not political.
And it's called hogbear.
Really?
No. What did you say?
Read hogweed.
Hogweed.
I think Dave's making that up.
We're gonna have to look that up.
He's probably laughing right now.
Yes, as he puts, North Carolina woods are designed to kill you. Yes.
That's what I was laughing at.
Absolutely, because if you've ever gone geocaching, now this is a good story. Is when I came down here from Michigan, you have to understand in Michigan, the only thing that you had to be cognizant of was the black widow spider. Big word, wasn't it?
No.
I paid all $6 for that one.
No.
Okay.
Cognizant, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
There's the black widow spider, which I don't think I saw more than one in my entire lifetime that I lived in Michigan. And
then you were
yes,
living.
Exactly, and that's my point. And then the other thing was we had what is known as the Massasauga rattler, which is a pygmy rattlesnake.
Oh.
Small thing.
Why don't you just say pygmy rattle?
Because it's called the Massasauga rattler. So anyways.
Okay.
So, I never actually saw one in the wild that way.
Yeah.
In Michigan, and I've been all over the state, north peninsula, south lower peninsula, upper peninsula, all of it. Yes, all over the state, continuously. Never saw this stuff. Moved to North Kakalaki, where we have 7 venomous snakes. We have spiders literally the size of dinner plates. We have scorpions. We have
which I didn't know
gators.
until just recently.
Yes, we have gators. We have, like Dave said, the woods in North Carolina is designed to kill you. And if you're not careful, it
is survival of the fittest here.
You really have to be careful and have to be aware of your surroundings when you go geocaching.
You either stay inside or you...
Or don't.
Die. I don't know.
But what my whole point to this was...
I'm moving to Colorado.
There's a lot of stuff there, too. I have to...
They don't have kudzu.
No. Let me get my point.
Sorry.
I had to get past my fear of going in the woods because I thought every creature in the world was right around the nearest tree, the nearest bush, the nearest, once you get into the woods, that they're going to come and they're going to get you. And it's not that way. Matter of fact, you have to go out of your way in most cases when you go geocaching in North Carolina. You got to go out of your way to see this stuff and actually find it. And it's rare. I mean, it's out there. I've seen copperheads. I have seen spiders. I'm still waiting to see my first huntsman. My first huntsman spider.
Oh, yeah. Mm-mm.
Huntsman spiders, and I'm not kidding. I've heard about these out in...
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Out west, where they call them dinner plate spiders.
They don't call them that for no reason.
Yeah, the huntsman spider is literally, if you were to lay it center of a large dinner plate, the tips of the legs would go over the edge of the plate. They're that big. They hunt birds and fish, amongst other things, small rodents, that kind of stuff. They are very, very large spiders.
And it's a spider.
Yes, and I've been dying to see one.
No.
Yeah.
No. What is wrong with you?
Not in the house, out in the wild.
No.
Now, I have seen, because this is another one that's in North Carolina, is the giant wolf spider.
Oh, God.
Giant wolf spider, I kid you not, is about small tarantula size. About the legs spread out about that much. And they are ugly. They are mean looking. They look like I want to rip your face off.
They all look like that.
Now, I have seen one of those in the wild, so that's kind of cool. But the idea is you go in, you learn about the environment, you learn about the dangers in the environment that you're going to go geocaching, and this is important, especially when you go to another state or another country. You learn about what's out there so you can prepare yourself.
Coming here is another country.
And when you... It's in the South. So when you do this, you actually need to prepare. But once you get used to that, you don't have to worry about it. You just be prepared and know what to do and not to do, and poke it with a stick. I mean, not physically. If you got a huntsman spider, I wouldn't poke it with a stick. But I'm going to poke a hole before I stick my hand in it, because you don't know what's going to be there.
I see a huntsman spider, you can find me back at the car.
You have a hard enough time with the spider webs when we go through the woods.
That's why you go first.
That's why I go first.
It could be a huntsman spider.
Yeah, there. And when I get entrapped, of course, you'll do what all brave persons run.
You can get out of a spider web.
Oh, funny stuff. All right. Well, we've got
spiders are horrible and should all die. Yes, I'm with her.
So this is the Creep Factor show tonight.
Yes, and you need to move on.
Well, I can. We got a lot of things to talk about tonight that are going to be touching all this stuff.
You can become a superhero.
Oh, awesome. Yes.
Sorry.
That's all right. How's the coffee?
It's good.
Is it kicking in?
Yeah.
All right.
Can you tell?
I'm vibrating.
Cup number 2.
Oh, we are going to have a show tonight.
Just be grateful it's not Starbucks.
Speaking of which, I had some today. I actually had my first...
I know, you called me and you were like, I'm geeked out on coffee!
Yay!
Oh my God, great.
I drink... I like coffee-flavored coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went today, I had one of those frozen iced coffees with double flingy do type stuff in it. And holy smokes. Yeah, that's how it is. So what's going on in the chat room?
They're talking about spiders biting you and turning into superheroes.
You know...
And that only happens to Tobey Maguire.
You know, that's just my luck. That is just my luck. Okay, 8:30, folks.
Yeah.
We are recording the... thank you so much for listening to the Patron pre-show. And we are going to move on now to the actual GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Thanks for stopping on by. We got a lot of stuff for you tonight. Hokey smokes. Lots of things to do.
See, now aren't you sorry?
About what?
That back to normal now?
Oh, no. I like it when you're like this.
Do you?
Yeah, it's fun.
Really?
Yeah, I like it.
Hmm.
This show is much more entertaining that way. I'm just saying. Yes, it works. It works well.
Be careful what you ask. On to tick awareness.
All right, on to the show. Let's do this thing before we don't know what we're doing. All right, it's time. Thanks again for listening to the Patron Pre-Show, and it is time for the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, coming to you right now. The GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Well, hello, and welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. I'm your host, Andy HeadHardHat Smith, and I'm here with wife Amy, the HeadHardHatress. And it is July 10th, 2014, and in the next hour or so, both co-host Amy, the HeadHardHatress, and I, that's her right here, will be bringing you some interesting information and tidbits about the game, the sport, yes, the obsession, known as geocaching. And, you know, as far as geocaching goes, we really didn't.
No, we didn't.
I went out.
Yes, and what was I doing?
You were doing mother stuff.
Yes. I had Gionis at the dentist.
Yes.
And he's like, there's a cache nearby. I'm just going to run and get it real quick.
I'm out of here.
I'm like, stay here. I'll be right back. I come out into the waiting room. Gone. I call it, where are you? I went to get that cache.
Well, it was very simple. The doctor's or the dentist office that we were in, the cache said 300 feet away. I'm like, sweet, let's go do this. And unfortunately, it was 300 feet, but there was an entire partition in between me and the cache where we were, so I had to go all the way around the parking lot and come all the way back into the other parking lot. And then if you saw my Google Plus, and if not, please get me in your Google Plus circles. But I took pictures. One is this very scenic pond. It's got the moss and it's got the little
There's a
seaweed.
Pond back there?
There was a pond, the seaweed, and several families of Canadian geese.
Oh, those stinking geese are freaking everywhere. I hate those things. Dave.
Thanks to Bear.
Yeah, how do you send those geese back? That's what I want to know.
The second picture was why I wanted to nickname the geocache Goose Poop Alley.
And that's why they need to go back.
Because the literally the sidewalk, the street, the grass, everything was wall-to-wall poopage. And so getting to the cache, and I'm like, oh, this better be worth it. So I get over there, and what do I find? 35 millimeter half wet log. It's like, oh, this was worth it. I did get the smiley, I did get the geocache, and I did finally come back after scraping my feet on the grass that didn't have the poopage before I went back into the tennis office. But yeah, did get the smiley, but that was my one and only geocache for today, or for the week, because it was hot.
Yeah.
It's been like near 100. Yeah, it's been hot here in the south, and actually, we had just a few minutes before we started the pre-show. Storms are coming through, so we may or may not have some thunder and lightning going on around us as we do the show. But that's how that goes. But that was pretty much it for this week, and hopefully we'll be able to get into some more geocaching next week as well. Let's see. To introduce, and we are getting a great response for this. We have a contest for July, and I'm going to actually put this up on the bottom fourth for you, so that bottom third, I should say, on the screen for the people watching the video, and we'll talk about it here for the people listening to the podcast. For the month of July, cache-advance.com was Lisa, thank you so much for this fantastic donation that they gave to us to give out as a prize, and we have a brand new Garmin eTrex 10 that is going to be coming from Cache Advance to the winner of this particular contest. We're going to run it all through the entire month of July. Matter of fact, let's go over the basics, and then you'll get how to do this. It's very simple, and we've got a lot of entries in already, and I want to stress this. So if you're going to get into it soon, so you get your name, so you're sure you get it into for the contest. What you do, and if you're looking at the bottom third, you send to gsreboot@gmail.com, GSREBOOT, gsreboot@gmail.com. In the subject line, you put eTrex 10 contest. eTrex 10 contest. And you send in the email your name, your registered geocaching alias, your email address, and the address to where we would send the prize to. You send that to gsreboot@gmail.com, and you have to have your entries in by Wednesday, July 30th, 2014. The very next day, on the 31st of July, we're going to do our standard GeoSnippits Reboot podcast. And on the show live, we're going to pick from the drawing for all this. Now, we ask that we only have one entry per person with this. So one entry per registered geocaching.com, and it doesn't have to be Premier, but registered geocaching.com person. One per person. Now, you may say, well, there's a lot of entries here. What are my chances? There is a way of doubling your chances, and this is how this works. If you notice the sign between Amy and me saying, become a patron on Patreon. We are really getting into now the Patreon program, which is a way for you fine folks to sponsor us, because obviously we need monies to keep the show going. To do this, you can actually be eligible for a second entry by becoming a patron. And all you have to do, and all these details is on geosnippets.com as well, is go to our patron website, which is at www.patreon.com/HeadHardHat, or just go to GeoSnippets and click on one of the logos. It'll take you right to it. When you do that, become a patron, which means you pledge any amount of money. Doesn't matter, a dollar amount. Pick a dollar amount and pledge. Once you're there, you're automatically and forevermore a patron. And you can be eligible not only for this contest, but the big contest we're doing in August, where we've got the Space Coast geocaching stores donating a ton of stuff that we are going to put out for patrons only. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be through the whole month of August. To get into that, you've got to be a patron. And what we also recommend, again, you can put any dollar amount you want, but with patron, we also have a whole set of rewards, and we'll go over that details later. take advantage of the rewards because you can get a lot of other cool stuff. But the idea is to get a second entry for the E-Trex, become a patron before the contest happens. You'll get a second entry in. So that's how that works. And we're giving away a brand new Garmin E-Trex 10. So that's the contest going right now for July. Again, thank you to cash-advance.com for all their things that they do, because they give us some really great stuff. You know, if you've seen the Cash Dash, everything that we have. And again, thank you for the E-Trex. This is a fantastic prize, and I'm telling you right now, a lot of people are getting into this, and a lot of people are taking advantage of getting that second entry. So do that. All right, let's see what else is going on. So you say to yourself, this is a cool show. We had a pre-show that's now a half hour practically worth of content that we do even before the show.
It's random stuff.
It's stuff, behind the scenes things that we've got going, all that fun stuff. People love it.
It could be the Cincy show.
I don't think so. And it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and it's all things that happen in our lives, what happens if we go on a geocaching adventure, things that people want to hear about, and there's a huge draw for this. Again, the way that you get the pre-show podcast is to become a patron, and you can get that as well. But you say, hey, how do I see these guys do what they do best during the podcast live? And it's very simple. To watch the live feed and join us in the chat room, which is worldwide. We've got geocachers literally from around the world. All you have to do is go to www.geosnippits.com on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have our social media links. Social media things. All you have to do is go to GeoSnippits.
I'm sure it does at some level.
Yep, geosnippits.com. Click on the social media link at the top of the webpage, and all the links for Amy, all the links for myself, all the links for the show are there. All you have to do is click on them, and you can subscribe, and boom, you're done. If there's two things that you really, really want to make sure that you do, one, click and get Amy and myself in your Google Plus circles. If you want to contact Amy and get a lot of feedback from her or talk with her, make sure you click on her Facebook link. And also, if you want to get all the GeoSnippets stuff that we do, which means the podcasts, the GeoSnippets tutorials, the vlogs, anything that we put out on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the HeadHardHat YouTube channel. Once you do that, like tonight's show is a good example. The second this show is done, it is published to YouTube. That immediately goes into your subscribed box, and you're off. You get to watch the show anytime you want. You don't have to go searching for it. It's boom right there, but you have to be subscribed to our YouTube channel to do that. Finally, we have our voicemail line where you can call in your questions, your comments, or suggestions by calling 919-341-9519, or you don't even have to worry about making phone charges, especially for people that are out of country and international. What you can do is go to geosnippits.com. On the right side of the website is the Send Voicemail tab. Click on that, and if you have your smartphone, your tablet, your laptop, any way of recording, you can record up to 3 minutes, and you can, if you don't like it the first time, you can redo it until you get it the way you want it, and you can click send, and away it goes to us absolutely free. And that's the cool thing about it. Give it a try. It's worth it, and it's a great way to communicate with us.
And we do have some viewer feedback this week. Eric, and I'm going to butcher it, Guther.
Okay.
All right.
That's good.
Close enough, I guess. I don't know.
If it's Geether or Guther,
I apologize for butchering
Eric,
your name.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, Eric. Sent a note that finally Mega has come to his backyard. It should be the first Mega in the New York City, New Jersey area. It's a Metro gathering on November 15th, 2014 in Roselle, New Jersey.
Yes, and we're going to have in our show notes a link of how to get this. I also saw a blurb about it in theobserver.com. But the GC code is what?
GC56TP7.
That's right. So if you're getting excited about this mega event that's coming up in the New York, New Jersey area for the first time, give this a look-see, and I think it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people in the Upper East Coast.
I hope they enjoy it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, moving on. Tonight's episode is brought to you in part by Cache-Advance.com for all your geocaching needs. Cache-Advance.com. Go find it. And also by
CoinsandPins.com, the best place to get custom coins, geocoins, lapel pins, and patches made. Go through our GeoSnippits links and use the promo code HeadHardHat for a 10% discount. The Poker Chip Geocoin is a new coin that CoinsandPins.com now has available. And FYI for our listeners, you can sign up for their newsletter to get notified of when new coins and patches are available for sale.
Okay, and one final thing before you do your next spiel. I have to say this. First, coinsandpins.com, we love you, Aaron, and thank you so much that's going on. But I have to say this for cache-advance.com for Lisa. A special request.
Oh, yes.
Miss Amy was on your website tonight. And by the way, if you want to see all this good stuff, all you have to do is go to geosnippits.com and click on the Cache Advance logo. It will take you to Lisa's website, and you can see all the good stuff there. I heard her from the other room oohing and eyeing of all the new merchandise that Cache Advance now has in the form of geocoins, I think was the majority of them.
Yes, the 3D geocoins.
And
There's
the Borg.
4 or 5 of them, I think. And there was the Borg coin, the cube.
Yes. And the personalized ones.
Yes. And I really like those personalized ones.
Right. So we want information,
yeah.
Lisa, by the way. See, what's nice about it, Lisa's in our chat room. So we could just, right now, through the beauty of television, we can sit there and tell her all the fine things that are going on with Cache-Advance. So, Lisa, if you are watching and you're listening, and I know you're in the chat room, we want to know more about this. And for the Cache-Dash.
It's the one, I really like the one that has the geocaching symbol in the center.
The Rosetta star, the Rosetta compass with the G and the geocaching G in the center was really nice. He likes.
Yes, and I like the horse one.
Okay, Year of the Horse. Okay, so this is one of the beauties of having your own show. You can do your own, suck up to try to get stuff from Cache Advance so we can look at it and give some to you fine folks.
Yes, please.
Just saying. Anyways, we want more information about the personal coins too, because I'm curious to see how the bulk rate works with that.
She's got a dragonfly coin that's going on.
Oh, great. So just add that to the list. I'm just saying. Tons of stuff. Anyways, we shall move on. Why don't you go to the next part?
Okay. And speaking of our sponsors, we're thankful to them. And if you want to see more of their products, be sure to go to our GeoSnippits websites and simply click on their logos. Not only do you get great deals, but it helps our program as well.
Absolutely. Moving on. Yee-haw! Yip. GeoSnippets.
Okay.
Yes?
I have to tell you something.
Yes.
I was notified of something tonight.
Okay.
Apparently, Mafia Princess has taken to saying yip when she gets excited and told her parents that it was her thing now.
All right. We're a thing.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's her new thing.
I love it. It's part of the fun. I love being part of the culture. It's good things. Yip. All right. GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, episode 70. Tick Awareness and August Geo Challenge 2014. Now, as we said in the pre-show, we were supposed to have on tonight Braden Purcell. Now, if you look at episode 68, we're a couple back. We talked initially about, because we were told by Striza from the Dirtbag Geocaching Society about this fantastic effort to, one, get trackables moving, and also to get some money to the National Parks Organization.
Yes, I love that.
And Braden was the one who brainchilded this thing. He was supposed to be on tonight, and unfortunately I got an email just before the show saying he is just not up to it. He actually has tick fever. And he's on 4 different medications. And Braden, if you're watching, sir, I hope you get well really soon. And what we said was, when he does feel better in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have him on, and we'll get into much more detail because I want to find out the background of how all this happened. But just as a light thing, he did send us some information, and I'm going to put that in. and then that way you can get a little more about information about it, and then when Braden comes in, we'll dig into the deepness of it and go from there. But what you want to do is you want to go to, if you want to learn more about the Geocaching Travel Bug Challenge, if you go to www.geocachingchallenge.weebly.com. When you go there, you will, I was very pleased when I went onto the website, there's a link for our podcast that goes right to the spot in episode 68 where we talk about it. So you can get instant information if you haven't seen episode 68, and if you haven't, why not? I'm just saying. But you can go to the website and actually see the video and get information about it there. So there's a link to our podcast right on their website. The thing that goes on with this is Braden's geocaching name is Why Go Too Slow, which I love. He's a geocacher since 2009, and again, we'll get more information from him when he actually gets on the next couple of weeks. But this is what the challenge is, and this is how he wrote it. The Geocaching Trackable Challenge encourages the movement of trackables, promotes the sport of geocaching, and helps give back to our national parks. Even if you successfully finish the challenge, I encourage you to make a donation anyways. The parks belong to us all, and many geocachers have used them over the years. I'm a big person for the parks. The challenge is a way to give back and say thank you, and yes, it's also tax deductible. P.S. I got verbal support and go ahead from a Groundspeak lackey, and written support from the national parks through Washington, D.C. office. And I actually had, back when I did Geocaching World, we actually talked with them live on the show, and I can't remember the name of the individual. I want to have them back because they do a big thing for geocaching every year. And so that's a good thing as well. So it works both ways. It's a good thing. So we will have Braden on in the not-too-distant future once he feels better. And again, Braden, get well soon, sir. And we will talk more in the next upcoming weeks. Now, that being said, then we had to fill some time because Braden's not going to be on tonight. So I thought it only fitting, because I don't think Amy and I have actually talked about this before.
Because they're bugs and they're disgusting.
We had a great discussion in the pre-show. I thought, because the connection of Braden getting tick fever, and we had not talked about this before, this would be a perfect time to spend some information about tick awareness and tick prevention. Because from what I've read off the CDC website, even with the colder weather that we have had this year, does not seem to be affecting at all.
No. Because they're like roaches.
They're worse than roaches. They're parasitic, and they're really nasty. If you've ever been bitten by a tick, it sucks.
I was walking through the store, I think it was last year, after we had been geocaching, and we could still go now that I'm itching again. And all of a sudden, I was walking through, and I said, "Ow!" And I reached under my shirt. It was a freaking tick.
Yes.
I was like,
Yes, and there's a lot of interesting things about
them. Kill them all.
One of the things that I got off of, and I checked out the CDC website, and if you've ever looked at it, it's the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and their website is www.cdc.gov/ticks, and then off of there is a whole host of different things that you can get into. One of the things that I found really, really interesting was the number of ticks that are in just the United States alone. I wish we had more about other countries, and maybe we can have our fine folks and our viewers and listeners out there send us some URLs about the tick, because it's not exclusive to the United States, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure
that how they are in your country. And let us know, because I would love to put that information out now. She gets a little feisty when it comes to bugs.
Yeah.
So
one tried to attack me in our bathroom.
Yes, I know, it had fangs. So we went through.
Yes, it did. And really long legs.
Yes. Okay, that was a centipede, honey. Anyways.
Why must you tell everything?
I'm sorry. So anyways, we went to the CDC website, and I clicked into some information which I thought was really interesting. I am familiar and thought I was familiar with all the ticks that are in the United States, and I thought there was only about 3 or 4. I was gravely, gravely mistaken. Matter of fact, there are, when they had in the list here, there was at least 7 that they talk about. And I thought we'd kind of touch because there's literally people all around the country, and I'm sorry again to the people from other countries that this is going to be mainly pointed towards America, but the idea of the how ticks work are the same no matter where
Apparently they're
you're
not
at.
in Australia.
Really? Well, Australia, I'm sorry. Talk about North Carolina having woods and that are made to kill you. Australia, if you got anything out there, that country is made to kill you. So...
All right.
And I love Australia. Don't get me wrong. I love the Down Under. I love everything that deals with Australia. But I am sorry when you start getting into brown snakes and all the other ones that are around there.
And you make movies that say the dingo ate my baby.
Yeah. I'm telling you, there is a lot of stuff. So let us know in your countries about those type of things, and we'll talk about them as well. But in the United States, some of the ones that are out there, because people want to associate what kind of diseases you can get off the different type of ticks, and I'm pulling this right off of that website that we were talking about before. One of the ones that are very, very common for probably about the 3/4 of the east part of the United States, the lower 48, is the American dog tick. And the disease that you can get with this is really the Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
That stuff's nasty.
When it comes to stuff like that, they are brown, have kind of a little hood, a U, that goes above or just below the head to them, and they got little beige spots on their legs, but they're particularly brown. Those are nasty. We have the black-legged tick, which is what they refer to a lot of times as the deer tick. Mm-hmm. These guys are teeny, teeny, tiny from the ones that I've seen. I'm not sure if this is the one that they refer to as seed ticks, because there's one here in North Carolina that is like the size of a pinhead, if that, and they're teeny tiny. But anyways, the black-legged tick or the deer tick has Lyme disease and a couple other. You're the one, honey, that does the medication. What osis are these? Take a look here, hon.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this osis and this osis. What are those?
Anaplasmosis.
Okay.
And babesiosis.
Okay, and Lyme disease are what the deer ticks in. They are basically from Maine all the way down to Texas in a straight line on the eastern coast, and there's a little bit
Michigan,
the western side of Michigan, and Wisconsin and Illinois, and a little bit of Missouri. It looks like.
You don't say the S. Illinois.
I'm sorry, I'm from Michigan. Anyways. Those are there. There is the brown tick. Now, the brown tick is basically everything in the lower 48. They are everywhere. They are also known for Rocky Mountain spotted fever. They are just literally everywhere. They are just your standard brown tick.
Except for one little dot in the middle.
And it's
in the Midwest, and probably is like Las Vegas.
That's Salt Lake, honey.
Is it?
Salt Lake.
Is it?
I don't think they're in Salt Lake. I mean the actual lake. I'm just saying. So yes, that's that one spot.
It's like one
US. Oh
dot.
Look, there's a dot here too. And look, that's Salt Lake
let's
too.
go there. Okay.
Okay.
I'm like, what is that? Let's go there. Every
Next,
time somebody says we don't have something, they're all moving there.
Yes. The next one is the Gulf Coast tick, which I have never seen because it's actually in the very, very western beach area of the southeastern
Gulf
United States,
Coast.
Down through all of Florida, all the way around the Gulf Coast and into like Mississippi, Alabama. It kind of looks like your brown tick with lighter legs. And I'm going to let you say this one too. What can you get from the Gulf Coast tick?
Looks like rickets.
Well, it's not rickets because it ends in ia.
Ricketsia.
Okay, and what's Ricketsia Parker, and what's the other one?
Ricketsiosis.
Okay.
I don't know.
So that's what you can get from. Yeah, but you can pronounce those a lot better than I.
Okay.
All right, so that's the Gulf Coast tick. This is the one that I know the most, and this is the Lone Star tick. If you're in North Carolina, you're going to see these buckers. They are
Ironically enough, it's not even in most of Texas.
Yes, but it's in the whole almost. It's not in Michigan, but it swoops from the East Coast underneath Michigan. Because never mind, I'm going to leave that there. It scoots almost to the Mississippi and then down to it splits Texas in half, and then everything to the east is where the Lone Star Texas or Lone Star tick is. And this guy is a bugger. Yeah. And basically what they're brown ticks, and right smack in the center of the back is a very, very white dot, very poignant white dot. So that's why they call it the Lone Star tick. And with this particular guy, you can get what?
Ehrlichiosis. Okay. And a lot of animals can get Ehrlichia. It's so if you hear your vet say your dog or cat has Ehrlichia, it's a tick-borne disease.
Wow, awesome. Now what's the other one here? Tularemia?
Yeah.
Okay, tularemia. And what they refer to is that starry or start?
It looks like a starry.
Okay, starry as well. So yes, Lone Star ticks. That's probably the most common one I've seen here. Mm-hmm. And go out that way. And the ever popular for the upper Midwest of the country is the Rocky Mountain wood tick. That part you can see pretty much everything west of the Mississippi and up from Arizona and Colorado to the northwest is what that is. From there you can get Rocky Mountain spotted fever and the tularemia. And so those are the diseases that you can get from that puppy as well. And then finally we have our western black-legged tick, which is literally the whole, if you do a small band from the upper west of Washington all the way down to Mexico through the entire western beach, that kind of thing.
All the way down California.
The western coast and a couple spots past that. This guy is kind of interesting. He's got black legs, a brown back with some orange around the fringes of it. I've never kind of seen a tick quite like this. And you can get the
anaplasmosis and Lyme disease.
Yeah, so those are the ones that you get in here. So that's the ticks that you can get in the United States. I'm sure there's other ones, but that's the one that the CDC has specialized with this. And one of the things that you want to remember that they do put in here, the greatest risk for human infection from ticks comes late spring and summer. It has to do with the larval stages of ticks and how they work through the seasons and how they mature. The ones that are going to have the better possibility of you actually catching a disease is in late spring and summer. So be careful out there. And matter of fact, that's one of the things that we wanted to talk about tonight too, is how to prevent tick bites. And again, this is off the CDC website, and it's literally preventing tick bites. And some of this I read, and I went, this isn't going to work with geocachers, but we're going to put some of this, what they put in here. Avoid wooded and bushy areas with high grass and leaf litter. Geocachers, good luck with that one.
What?
To avoid direct contact with ticks. Avoid wooded and bushy areas with high grass and leaf litter. Now, obviously, they didn't write this with geocachers in mind.
Yeah, no kidding.
But that is the area that geocachers tread. That's what we do.
And the center of trails.
Well, they want you to walk in the center of trails to prevent from getting tick bites. So be safe out there.
Geocachers don't do that.
No, we don't. So that's not going to help us right off the bat. What they do say is repel ticks with DEET and permethrin. Permethrin? Permethrin. Permethrin.
Yeah.
Those are the two things. The only thing that you have to really be careful with, guys and gals, is if you're using the ones that are pretty much 100% DEET or close to it, watch your eyes, watch your face, watch with kids. Make sure that you can put stuff that, because some of this stuff just isn't safe to put on kids. Read the labels, find out what works. And
ironically enough, the permethrin is something that professional bug people, which I will never be, use to get rid of hornets and yellow jackets and things like that, they'll actually
spray themselves with it, or
no, they'll actually fog it into the area of where the bug is, and they'll
kill them.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're putting this on your body.
Yes.
So just think of the chemicals and the concentration of the chemicals.
So be
you
very
are putting
careful
on
when
your
you're
body.
spraying chemicals anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bear says that 30% works. So the least amount of concentration you can get that works is great.
Yes.
So especially with the kids.
Especially with the kids.
Yes. Yes. You're making people itch.
I'm sorry, we're almost done. We'll get into some other stuff in a second here. Find and remove ticks from your body. Bathe in. Now, there's a common phrase that geocachers use. You find somebody who knows you extremely well, and you do what we refer to as a tick check. And basically what it is you get down and unclothed, and you have your partner check all the crevices, because that's where they go, is all the crevices around your body that you wouldn't normally do in public, and have them check that out, because that's where they go. They like the moist, dark areas. I'm just saying. So just check out very, very well. I'm just saying that's where they go, and you got to be careful, because that's where they can hide. You want to, and some of the things that they say here: bathe or shower as soon as possible after coming indoors. What I tell most of the people when people ask me about ticks with geocaching is the second you enter the house. Sometimes people do it before you get into the car. You declothe yourself, you take said clothes, and you immediately wash them. Put them in the washer and wash your clothes that way. Bathe or shower as soon as possible after coming in. Washing off, believe it or not, is not going to, it's going to help with some of the ticks when it's coming off, but they still manage to grab on if they're not, even if they haven't penetrated and bit you yet, they hang on very, very well.
Yes, they do, like that one that in the store.
Yes, and there's a couple other things that you need to realize is that ticks do not, it's one of those things where if they bite you, if they don't like the spot, well, what they do is they bite you and it paralyzes that area. That's why a lot of times you don't feel it. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. If they don't like the spot that they bit, they're going to let go and they're going to bite you someplace else. So you can actually have multiple tick bites by a single tick and go this way. And they are nasty. They are itchy. They're just bad. They take a while to heal, and they're nasty little things. But the best thing you can do is make sure you wash, get those clothes off as soon as possible, and go that way. They actually talk in the CDC about conducting a full body tick check, and make sure before you get the kids and the animals in your car or in the house, check them out too, because ticks tend to hang on to them. The dog jumps onto the bed, the tick jumps off, the tick finds you and bites you that way. So you wonder, like, I didn't even go out. How did I get bit? They can transfer from one thing to the next.
And you can get what they call flea combs at any pet store or whatever will have them. Maybe you can probably get them at the Tractor Supply or your local farm store.
Right.
But flea combs are very fine toothed combs, and they should be able to
get the pets.
Yeah, you should be able to get that. But somebody in the chat room said that they carry a tick removal thing with them regardless.
Right.
So which is good, because if you're checking your pet and you find a tick, then you want to comb them slowly so you're not taking
the heads off.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and there's actually, if you check out Cache Advance and GX Proxy and a lot of the sponsors that we have tick keys that you can use that easily pull ticks off if they are lodged, and that's pretty cool. And finally, this is one bit of thing that I found interesting. Tumble clothes in a dryer on high heat for an hour to kill remaining ticks.
An hour?
According to this, some research suggests that shorter drying times may also be effective, particularly if the clothes are not wet. So if you want to make sure that those buggers are dead, run it in a dryer on high, and that will work with getting the clothes as well. So that's I'm going to get off these because everybody's itching and scratching and going that way. But that's our tick prevention and tick awareness. please be careful when you're out there. The diseases you get from these guys are terrible, and you do not want them because some of them, I don't know about all of them, some of them they can help you. Once you get Lyme disease, you have Lyme disease.
And yes, you do. And if you see a bullseye mark on your skin, you want to get to the doctor sooner than later.
Yes.
Like if it's on a weekend, go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
Because that is a telltale sign of Lyme disease.
Yes, and it's also a telltale sign of a brown recluse bite as well.
Either way, just
go to the doctor.
Yeah, go to a doctor.
Don't wait.
Emergency room, doctor, whatever, because you do not want to wait on that stuff.
Okay, so enough on ticks. Let's move on to a happier subject.
Please, because
let's get away from bugs. The other thing that we wanted to talk about tonight is coming up in August. We're already at July 10th, so we only got a couple of weeks prepared. When I mean we, I mean all of us. They have from Groundspeak. Last year we had the 31 days of geocaching.
This better.
Okay, and we're going to go over some of this because we actually got some feedback from people as well.
I'm a people.
Yes, you are, ma'am, and you have a mic. This year it's a little bit different. Last year we had the 31 days of geocaching, which for a lot of people said, and we even said when it started getting to that 31 mark, this was a lot of work.
And one day was more special than others.
Yes, we actually went geocaching on our wedding day to do that. I don't know if we're going to do it this year, probably not, but hey, that's how it goes. But what they're going to have this year for August 2014, Groundspeak announced this week that their special souvenirs for August 2014, there's a total of 7. Now, this is what I really want to see. There are a total of 7 which will be displayed in the Geocacher's personal 7 Souvenirs of August trophy case. Now, what I have seen, and this must be the way that they're going to present it. If you go to geocaching.com, you can actually see this. It's literally a rectangle with different circles in it, and there are 7 of them for the 7 souvenirs. And the way that this works is, because if you ever gone to geocaching.com or on an app, you have seen your souvenirs just kind of splattered in a pattern, rows and columns of your souvenirs that you have found over time. Now they actually have this trophy case that you're going to be able to do. And so I'm going to be curious to see how those display on the different app devices, but that's me personal, my QA stuff talking. You can get 6 different types of geocaches with this in August. And they have them kind of identified. They've got the Explorer, which is you find a traditional type geocache. And that's easy enough. I think a lot of people would be able to go through and find that. You've got the Puzzler, which is where you find a mystery cache or a puzzle cache. They have the Sightseer, which you have to find a multi-cache. You have the Nature Lover, which you have to attend a CETO event or find an Earth cache.
Oh, I got a better chance of finding an Earth cache.
Okay, and we'll talk about that. There's the Socializer, where you can attend any type of event cache or mega event or giga event. They have the Collector, where you can find either a virtual cache, a Where I Go, a letter hybrid, or a webcam cache. So some of the old father geocaches, we're still using them for ways of getting these souvenirs. The 7th souvenir is given to the geocacher who collects all 6. Now we put out on Google Plus a request to say, how did you feel about this? And we've got some interesting mixed results. For example, we've got Dave, who said, this challenge is so much better than the 31 days thing from last year. First off, it was way more friendly to those folks who are time constraints and cannot cache every day or have cached out their area and have to drive a long way to find the closest geocache. It is also more about trying new things. Last year you could complete it with 31 LPCs from 31 Walmart parking lots. and repeat the experience over and over. This year, one will experience a much wider range of caching types before they are through. I've already heard some geocachers express that they had not heard about some of the cache types before, which is great. Spreading the knowledge is awesome for things like that. The challenge is going to expand horizons for folks, and that touches on the most important aspect of geocaching, at least for Dave, and I agree with this, experiencing new places and new things.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dave, for that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Dane said, agree. Vastly superior. In addition to the listed reasons with 6 souvenirs and the 7th for overall completion, they actually have some perceived value to me. Whereas last year it was such a glut that they just did not feel valuable at all to me. I responded by just going from one of each color type. So in a way, I made my own this year's style thing out of last year's anyway. And I'm not quite sure how you put that, but that's what Dane had with that. Thank you for that. And finally, Jamie said, it seems a good idea to draw beginners in the game. However, most experienced players will have got all these caches before. I will have a crack at it, nevertheless. As my wife will be out to get them now, she has started to cache. North Ireland only has 1 Earth cache, which quite frankly sucks.
Poor Jamie.
Now this actually brings up some points, and
well, they got a new baby too, so.
Well, that too. But one of the things that I came up with is that we'll briefly go over because we're running right on time here.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome for us.
Yes, strategy for accomplishing each of the 6 souvenirs. So I kind of gave some helpful hints and that you can take with this. And if you have more, please send them in to gsreboot@gmail.com or one of our social networks. You look like you wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was breathing.
Okay, that's always good. One of the things that we kind of stated is some of the obvious. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at the area that you want to go geocaching. Usually it's around your house type thing. For a starting point, check the geocaching.com geocaching map to get an overall idea of all the geocaches that are available to you. Observe geocaches in your zone. Some geocachers have to go at least 5 or 10 miles out of their radius now because everything within that 10-mile radius is empty of all the geocaches because they found them all. So you're going to have to take that extra time to look out of that zone to find what geocaches you're going to be able to go to do this. Mm-hmm. Having to plan your target geocache is going to be crucial with this because I got a feeling people are going to start this and then next thing you know, they're in the final week, and it's like, oh my gosh, now what do I do? Mm-hmm. So the idea is on August 1st, started out, try to get this stuff done as soon as possible because some of these are going to be more difficult to find than others. Okay, so say, for example, single out the Explorer, where you find a traditional geocache. I think that one's going to be pretty easy for pretty much everybody to just go find a traditional geocache and go that way. The Puzzler, same thing. All you have to find is a puzzle or a mystery cache. You find the closest one. Now, the kicker with this is it may take some time to figure it out. So even if you've got some easy ones, it may take, depending on the difficulty level, a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week to figure out a good puzzle cache, depending on the difficulty. So
I don't need a hard one.
Keep that in mind. If that some of them are easy and you can be able to figure out in the field, some of the other ones may take some time. So I'm just saying, plan ahead of trying to do this. You might want to work on the puzzles earlier so that you can get them sooner rather than later, and you don't want to scramble at the last couple of minutes to try to figure it out. The Sightseer is find a multi-cache. Now, most multi-caches, they're going to be fairly easy to find. There are usually a few stages to go from point A to point B. But let me ask you this. You might have to have a plan A, plan B, or even a plan C when it comes to multi-caches, because sometimes what happens if you're going for stage 1 and stage 2 is missing? You either got to figure out and find out how to get to stage 2 to get to stage 3, or then you got to find another multi-cache, thus having the plan B or plan C for that. So you might want to figure several multi-caches as backup, just in case. The ones that you have choice issues, this is going to depend on where you live and how many you have. For example, where they were talking about Ireland, where you've only got one Earth cache, the only thing you're going to do, unless you drive to wherever that is, and that could be hundreds of miles to get to it, and that could be in the United States too, come to think of it, or any country, you're only going to be able to rely on the other geocache type. And the ones that I think you're going to really, really get snagged on is, for example, the nature lover. You have to attend a CETO event or find an Earth cache. If you've got an Earth cache you're nearby, or a bunch of them nearby, you're not going to have a problem. It's going to depend on how many people actually have a CETO event going in August. Now, we had the big push a few months ago for CETO, so a lot of those are already done. What's the odds of actually having a CETO event going on in August? And if it's one of those situations where you need to have a CETO event, that means you're going to have to book one now, because you got that 2-week gap from the point of where you actually say you want to have the CETO event before you can actually have it. So you're going to have to set one up within the next couple of weeks if there isn't one available. So I'm trying to say, think ahead when it comes to this. The other one is the socializer. Attend an event, a mega event, or a giga event. And how they're going to distinguish this automatically, I have no idea. For your souvenir with that, to know which one correlates to that socializer.
Oh.
Because actually a CETO event is a event cache.
Yes.
So I'm just saying, I don't know how they're going to distinguish it, but something that you're going to have to figure out. Again, if they don't have any events in your area in August, somebody's going to have to send one up to help everybody else out. And if you're going to do that, you need to do that now. Make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm just chatting.
Okay, and I was just looking if you had information. And then finally...
No, Dave is saying that this is a good time for people to, there's no reason for people not to attend one, because you can always host your own.
Absolutely. But for you to do that, to get it in August, you've got to set it up
you got to set
early.
it up now. Yeah, but, you can host your own.
Oh, absolutely. And I got a feeling that's going to happen, because some areas... I mean, look at the WWFM.
I'm sure there'll be lots around here.
There should be, but if you remember the WWFM 11, we had one in Raleigh. There was several over on the western side of the state. There was a couple on the eastern side of the state, but there was one.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was it.
Yeah.
So again, this is something that people are going to have to plan ahead of time and maybe take that extra step and get that put into place. Finally, the collector. Find a virtual cache, a Where I Go, a letterbox hybrid, or a webcam cache. So some of these are fathered.
Yeah.
And depending...
You've already found the Where I Go that I was thinking about.
Did I? Which one? The one at...
in Durham.
Oh, the one that you do the tour?
Yeah, you went with Dave.
Yes. But see, that means I got to find another one.
Yes.
So
I haven't found that one.
Actually, you know what would work very well for you? Just as a sidebar with my wife here, there is a webcam in Apex.
Yes, I know.
And you could use that too.
Yep.
All right. So those are, again, depending on where you're at in your country and where you live in your country, it may take a little bit of planning to figure out your virtual cache, your Where I Go, your letterbox, or your webcam. Now, I would say out of all of those, letterbox is probably going to be the most abundant. I would say as a lucky guess out of the four that are there. Virtual caches are very popular in some areas and ditto nothing in others. Mm-hmm. Where I Go caches, the cool thing about Where I Go caches, if you've got the player on your phone or your GPS unit, some Where I Goes can be played anywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at. You just play the cartridge. You can pick your park. You can pick any open area that's not trespassing, and you can go through and actually go and do that. So that was a good one as well. And again, webcams, it all depends. It's like virtuals. It depends on where you're at and what's available. There's not as many out there as there used to was. So you want to plan this stuff ahead. You don't want to be 2 weeks into August and trying to figure this out. All right. Well, that's how that goes. Good luck to everybody for the 7 souvenirs of August. And as we get more information about that, we will get that out as well. And if you have suggestions that you would like to relate to other people about this, please let us know. and we will add that to the show as August goes on. And, of course, we will be doing our vlogs.
And Dave says you got till August 15th to get your event published.
Absolutely. And I would do it much sooner than that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But he's just saying, that's your time limit.
Absolutely. All right, good stuff. We hope you enjoyed all this tick scratching, travel bugging, geocaching goodness. And we hope you enjoyed that. Moving on.
Your support helps keep all of the GeoSnippits Reboot shows running along. Please consider making a PayPal donation through the link on our website to support our efforts and your ongoing entertainment. From all of us at GeoSnippits, we thank you.
Awesome. We had a thing in from DeBear saying the webcam at HeadHardHat Lighthouse is a good location. I'd love to do that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That'd be a cool place to go. Thanks, DeBear, for that. That was good stuff. All right. Really, really quick because we're running late.
We're running very late.
And is about our patron campaign. Several things to consider, and I'm going to just do this really, really quick. With our eTrex program that we have, if you become a patron, you get a second entry in. Good thing to become a patron. If you want to become a patron, you need to go to patreon.com, patron.com/HeadHardHat. And you have your finger up.
I'm pointing to...
Oh, she's pointing to the sign. I'm sorry for the people listening to the podcast. She's pointing to the patron sign, which is in between us that we try to promote. Anyways, so becoming a patron is a good thing for many reasons. One, if you want to get that second entry in the Garmin eTrex 10 contest going on through July, great thing to become a patron. All you have to do is put any dollar amount and you're instantly in for that second entry. If you join our patron program, we have a whole series of rewards, from free pre-show podcasts that we now put out to our patrons, to hangouts, to a path tag that we're going to be designing and getting people out, and it might get updated to that thing with Cash Advance with the personalized geocoin. We're going to have to look into that. Anyways, because that just popped in my head. That would be a cool thing to try as well.
That's
So we're going to look into that as well.
Got to make it different, though.
Got to make it different. So the idea is there's all these rewards that you can get becoming a patron depending on the amount that you give. So that's all I'm going to go in tonight. You check out the patron webpage /HeadHardHat, or go to geosnippits.com and click on the patron, and it'll take you right to the page. Become a patron. The reason why I want to say this is in August. Thank you very much. I just got confirmation from Dale at the Space Coast Geocaching store down in Florida that they're going to be providing a whole bunch of stuff that is going to be for a patron-only contest in August. And the way to get into there is, again, make any donation of any amount, you're in for that contest. So consider that as well. That will be coming up in August as well, and we will be having more contests and more things for our patrons as this develops on. Check out the amounts and the rewards on the page.
And it explains everything on the website.
Everything that deals with it.
If you have any questions, just shoot us an email.
And one of the things that I do want to announce with this is that if you don't feel comfortable with Patreon, I totally understand this.
Yeah, you can go through PayPal.
If you make a donation on PayPal, we will automatically, depending on the amount that you donate, put you in the correct reward system on Patreon.
Yep.
So that's how that works. Keep that in mind. Both are available. If you go to the GeoSnippits website, you'll see the logos right there, and check it out.
All right.
Excellent. Moving on. Yeehaw! Yep. All right, tonight. I just want to throw that in.
I was like, that is not the music.
Tonight, we have the GeoSnippits Geocaching Cache Stash, and we are getting so many good goodies from so many different companies out there. And matter of fact, that's exactly how it works. Geocaching companies out there want you, our fellow readers, I was going to say,
really?
Watchers and listeners of the show, to know about those companies and the products that they provide. So what they do is they give us stuff. We love it when they give us stuff. And we get a constant flow of stuff.
And we give you stuff.
And then we turn it around and turn it into prizes for you. Each and every week we have at least one question. And that's how that works. Then we also give a little blurb about the company and the products that they provide as well. So for episode 69 last week, why don't we go over what the prize is?
We're giving away from GX Proxy. It's a grab bag.
It's literally a grab bag, and it's got goodies in it.
A camo bison tube,
yep,
a bushwhack champion whistle, and a Proxy trackable tag.
These are awesome. Matter of fact, I was just looking at those because I have some trackable tags that have gone missing that I don't want to lose that number, and I want to use the Proxy tag for putting it out because my copy is, I want to keep that as well.
Okay, and the question was, there's an old-timer acronym known as an SBA log. What is an SBA log?
All right.
And the answer is, should be archived log.
Awesome. So the way this works is for each week for our drawing, we have a random number generator, and it goes from 1 to the total number of correct answers that we received for that week for that question. And I also have in front of me a list of all the correct emails as well on my little tablet here. The idea is simple: is Amy takes her magic geocoin, which she's going to try to get right now, and she's going to flip it, and it's going to either be heads or tails. If it's heads, I count down from the top of the list. So say it's 4. I count down from the top 4 emails down, and that would be our winner. If it's tails, I go to the bottom of the list and count up 4, and that would be your winner. So it gives that little bit extra randomness to the possibility of our winners.
It's not 4.
It's not 4 today. So I'm going to go through and actually click the number, and Amy's going to tell us if we're going heads or tails.
Heads.
Heads it is. All right. So let me switch over, and I'm going to look at the emails. And I'm going to go literally all the way down the list here. And it's Sorry, it's taking a little bit. And all right.
I would sing, but you don't want me to.
Okay, this is I've seen this name before. C. Courtney. C. Courtney. And she's going to write this down. Oh, it's Taz427.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations, Taz427. Taz, do us a favor. If you would send to us your email address, and we will get that gxproxy.com grab bag sent out to you as soon as possible. We're going to get out the ones that we have. If you haven't received your prize, there's a few we're back on a little bit. We have to wait till the money's come in before we actually send it out, and we're going to start doing that now. So if you haven't received within your past month or so, you haven't received your prize, it's going to be going out this week, and we will get that as well. But Taz, if you would send out your send us your address, we'll get this out. And congratulations for winning the Cash Dash for episode 69. Excellent. Good stuff. Now, you're going to say to yourself, hey, wait a minute. I want to win some of this cool stuff because they give away really good geocoins, they give away prizes, they give away swag, they give away all sorts of good stuff. How do we do it? Well, it's very simple. To be eligible to win a prize from the Cash Dash, all you have to do is, 1, send in a correct answer, and I'm going to put this up on the bottom third for the people for this week, so that they can see it. All you have to do is send in the correct answer, and for this week, for episode 70, you got to get in by July 16th, which is next Wednesday, 2014. You email it to gsreboot@gmail.com. That's gsreboot@gmail.com. In the subject line, you put Q1, episode 70 for today's show. All correct answers will be put in a drawing. Some weeks for the people in the live chat room, we have a second prize. Sorry, we're not going to do it tonight because we're running long, but maybe next week. We do it at least once a month, and we still got a couple weeks left of July, and we're going to pick one of those and have it so that you can win right here, right now, right on the show, live. And maybe next week. We'll have to see. It gives the incentive for people to come and check things out. All right, for question episode 70, what is the prize we're giving away, Miss Amy?
It is a Geo Award engraving coin.
These are really cool. Aaron just sent this. Now, if you saw the Mile High Geo coin that we gave away just a week or so ago.
That was last week.
Last week, thank you. And then what we did is we got this guy here. Now, if you notice, this has a huge engraving area, and on the top of the coin it says Geo Award for that.
So you can put whatever you want.
And you can engrave this for a first to find. You can engrave this for a special thing, a special event, anything that you want to do on it. And then on the back, it's got another whole area that you can engrave. And it's just a beautiful coin. It's in gold and very heavy. And all the coins from Coins and Pins are awesome. And we thank Aaron for donating that for the Cash Dash. That is a prize for episode 70. Why don't you tell them ask them what the question will be?
The question is, I feel like I'm too loud. In 2001, the APE Geocache series was created and based on which of the Planet of the Apes movies?
Okay, one more time.
In 2001, the Ape Geocache series was created and based on which of the Planet of the Apes movies?
All right. Next week we'll find out. Get your answers in by Wednesday, July 16th, 12 noon Eastern Time, and you will be eligible to win that really, really cool coin. So, good stuff. Let's move on once I change my bottom third here. And we will go from there. Moving on. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this show. We had a lot of really good information, a lot of fun, and a little bit of itching, but that's all how it goes. It's good for you guys to keep aware because you don't want to mess around when it comes to ticks. And so we'll wrap the show up here. Let us know what you think about tonight's episode. If you've got anything to add, please use our send voicemail tab on geosnippets.com or send us an email to gsreboot@gmail.com. However you want to go through our social networks. Let us know, and we would love to put your feedback onto the show. We want to definitely encourage you to become a patron. That's going to become more and more important to you as far as winning prizes and having those extra chances at winning prizes. So be sure to become part of our patron program, and believe me when I say it helps keep the lights on. I am not kidding. It definitely helps with all aspects of keeping the show going, and every dollar counts. And also, finally, please be sure to tell other geocachers, especially geocachers that are just getting out into the geocaching world. We are kind of a tutorial-based show, but we talk so much more than just tutorials. Let other people know about the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast so they can come in and become part of this amazing community that we are now all a part of, and thank you so much for doing that.
We want to thank our sponsors, cash-advance.com and coinsandpins.com. We want to thank Andy HeadHardHat Smith, and thanks to everyone watching in the chat room. Please keep those comments coming in, and see you next time.
Absolutely. I want to say a special thanks to the dear, wonderful, delicious wife, Amy. And we will see you fine folks next week on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for another spine-tingling, tick-filled episode of the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Go check out the pre-show. You'll find out what we're talking about when it comes to insects and how Amy loves that. Next week we are going to give a shot at the another shot at the Build a Birdhouse Geocache tutorial episode. So this is going to be fun. Bring your ideas. Matter of fact, if you would be so kind, if you've built birdhouse geocaches before, send us your designs.
Now, we're not going to actually build a birdhouse.
We're going to show you how to do this in certain ways. So, in other words, we're not going to actually build it because we only have so many minutes to do this.
Exactly.
If it takes a long time for glue to dry, that kind of thing. Right. But we're going to give you a lot of good ideas on how to make yours and how to make them geocaching safe. Mm-hmm. So that works out. So that's going to be next week. We're going to try it. We'll see what happens and go from there. But I think we're going to have a lot of fun. If not, it's going to be a fun train wreck to watch. All right, folks. We will see you out on the trails. Have a great week. Bye-bye, folks. Please be sure to join us each and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast right here on the GeoSnippits website at www.geosnippits.com. The video version of our show is available on YouTube, and the audio version of the show is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, the Tech Podcast Network, and many of your favorite podcatchers. We love hearing from our viewers and listeners, so please leave your feedback by emailing us at gsreboot@gmail.com, visit us through our social media sites, or contact us via our voicemail line at 919-341-9519, or visit our website and use our Send Voicemail tab. GeoSnippits Reboot is a HeadHardHat production and is produced by Amy and Andy Smith. This show is copyright 2014 by Andrew T. Smith. All rights reserved. And clear. Didn't run too much over, about 6 minutes, not too bad. So thank you for stopping on by and watching the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. And again, please tell other geocachers about this fantastic show. We love doing it. We love the whole worldwide community coming in and just chiming in on this, expressing yourself about what you like and dislike about geocaching so that we can spread the word to others as well. And of course, make it a learning experience so that all geocachers, whether they're new or experienced, all have these insights from people all around the world, and that's what makes this show so fantastic. And we appreciate everything that you find folks do contributing to the show, either watching us and joining us in the chat room, or communicating through our social networks, or just watching the show or listening to the show. We greatly appreciate it. Any good stuff, Miss Itchy?
Dave doesn't like Thomas the Train.
I'm sorry. He's Canadian.
No, we were talking about train wrecks, and then it digressed to Thomas the Train.
I had the same thing about Barney, but that's a whole different subject.
Thomas is apparently on drugs, so
I hate when that happens. It happens to all child stars eventually.
Yeah, Thomas the Train, Barney, whatever.
It all goes. Elmo. I mean, come on.
No. My nephew says no.
Yes, he loves Elmo.
Oh, my God.
Anyways, have a great one, folks. We'll see you next week. Be safe out there, and definitely check out next week's show for the birdhouse tutorial. We're going to use camera 2, and we're going to see what happens. See the fun live as we go through this.
Fun's
next
relative.
week. Yep, same bat time, same bat channel. Have a great one. Be safe out there, folks.
That's my line.
I'm sorry. I took it. Actually, it was taken from Adam West, but that's besides the point.
At any rate.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to go. Have a great one, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye, folks.